Boy, this Chief Brown seems like a very impressive individual, but he's dealing with a very, very difficult situation, both personally and professionally.
I think he's done outstanding under the circumstances. I mean, from the decision to deploy the robot and use that to neutralize the suspect and stop any further loss of life, to his outreach to the community and his very open conversation with the community about, hey, we've received death threats, he's received death threats, and we're receiving them across the country.
Have we learned anything in the investigation that has followed? Nothing that obviously would bring back the 5 officers who were lost and killed by this man who's also dead. But as we look into the military training, we look into, as I mentioned a moment ago, the social media posts, have we learned anything that might help us out in trying to stop this kind of thing, or are random attacks like this, just in your view, impossible to stop nearly?
Well, attacks like this are very, very difficult, where this individual didn't have a social media presence.
Really,
Several of our other mass shooters were on social media. They announced the attack. People knew about it. We've actually stopped some attacks because we found out information. I think from a law enforcement perspective, we've got to change our tactics a little bit. Not only are we now responsible for the crowd and protecting the people at these events, we've got to watch our own backs, and we may have to look at adding additional perimeters of police officers to watch the guardians who are guarding the citizens to make sure that they can protest freely and are safe in doing it.
Because a lot have been made about the officers not wearing enough protective gear, but you're saying it's more about the tactical positioning would make more of a difference than that even.
Well, across the country, ballistic vests are pretty much the norm. Many agencies mandate it and require it, especially for high-profile, events like that. So I think we're doing pretty good on that side of safety. But on our tactical side, on how we deploy, on how many officers we deploy, and you got to remember also, not only were we dealing with the murders in Dallas on Thursday night and all of that chaos, but there were officers across the city that were still doing their job and responding to the everyday shootings, stabbings, and offenses that occur. They've got to be on high alert also everywhere.
Don Matthews, he a former Dallas police officer himself. Thank you, sir.